Alright, we got Dax Soldier featuring Tom MacDonald, the official video. Let's take a look at it.
I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call when the times get hard. Yeah, I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. When my back's against the wall, I'm breaking, I won't fall. I'm a soldier. I know how it feels to be caught in the rain, going to war in your brain when depression is staring you right in the face and anxiety's grabbing you, making you shake. But there's people depending on you to be great, so you hide all the feelings and push them away. It's too hard trying to mix it all with the pain. I'm drinking the cool off and it's all in my veins. I'm making these new songs to move on and restrain from grabbing the sword off and going to cock it and aim at these nuanced people who shame the role that a man has to play as a husband, a father, a brother, a son to a servant, protecting his family's name. They laugh in your face when you try to explain or express, then tell you they love you without any loyalty, patience, and basic respect. Then expect you to smile every day while engaging your mind and your soul, your flesh, and your work, and you wither away to the day that you can't, and you're broken and nothing is left in your road, and you can't even. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call when my back's against the wall. I'm breaking, now won't fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a
job is to feed these kids. Be strong, keep feelings within. My papa taught me to protect the weak. A man ain't what he got, a man is what he gives. And when he gives it all and it still ain't enough, then he's the one to blame and no one gives a shit. Never leave a man behind. We all crack and break within the hands of time. I got an axe to grind. With anybody trying to identify as a guy, if their chromosomes ain't XY, you would never understand what it's like for a man. Gotta fight with your hands, wanna cry, but you can. If it's right for the fam, you will tighten your pants. Provide a romance, you would die where you stand. Gotta be a bigger man when there's problems. Get judged by the money in your wallet. It's our fault, let's be honest. We built a world that labeled us toxic. Gotta lead and teach and keep the peace and fight the fires and be police. When a man gets tired, he don't lay down to sleep. He take all the heat, don't complain, no retreats. Cold world and it's hard times, and our children inherit the land. If you think that being a boy is just picking a pronoun, you should try being a dad. You can build all the houses and fix all the cars and work till you're breaking your back. But the hardest job in the world, being a man.
I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call when my back's against the wall. I'm breaking, now won't fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'll give you my all. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. Battling feelings I can't even show. Weight of the world on my shoulders is crushing me. People around me, they don't even know. I put on this cape and go save everybody while I'm being shattered and all of my bones. Take on the pressure of being the hero who saves but has no one to help with his own. Demons inside that try to eat him alive. I'm going insane, and when I'm out of my mind, I look at the stars and talk to God in the sky. I wait on his words but I don't get a reply. I try to refrain from diving deep, so I hold back tears that try to come out my eyes. In this world as a man where we know we can't cry, cause the people we love look at us to confide. So I'm silently screaming for help. Life is a battle inside of these trenches, especially when fighting it all by yourself. PTSD from the memories, people who left you for dead and then drug you through hell, leaving you shot deep inside of a shell with stories you hate but nobody to tell. Why you question God if your soul is soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call when my back's against the wall. I'm breaking, now won't fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'll give you my all. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier.
there are lyrics in here that some of y'all probably didn't catch. So let's break it down. Closed captions on so you guys can understand why this one hit me really fucking hard. And I know Dax is also one of the larger independent artists, and I'm still waiting on Diablo to update for those that are watching this live. This will immediately be uploaded to the channel as soon as I am done. And despite what the fucking military and veteran community is going to do, they're going to tear this up and say, oh, well, they didn't have the iron sights flipped up right. They, you don't fire that in automatic because we don't get that. That's Marine Corps ranks. And shut up. For once, shut the fuck up. Listen to the fucking lyrics. Pay the fuck attention to this. Because yes, that is Marpet.
I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call when the times.
I'm the one who they call when the times get hard. Military is always there to be used whenever all diplomatic resources and everything have failed, and it starts becoming a hostile manner. Thus, when the times are getting hard. I'm speaking on my experience from 9 years on active duty as a United States Marine. I've been now since 2015, and there were events that really fucking pissed me off that came on, and it happened. I won't speak on it live. I have a separate podcast for all that.
I'm a soldier.
I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. Alluding back to the very first set of lyrics and what I had explained. We're the last resort when it comes to situations like this. Especially when you have a terrorist organization that puts civilians in jeopardy.
I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. When my back's against the wall, I'm breaking, I won't fall.
When my back's against the wall, I don't break and I won't fall. When we don that uniform on, whether we graduate from basic training in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or boot camp in the Marine Corps, or basic training in the Coast Guard, whatever branch people go in serving, in any capacity, we are trained to not show any type of weakness in the face of the enemy, because they will capitalize on that and you won't be here anymore. When your back's against the wall, do you sit there and crumble, or do you push forward and overcome that adversity?
I'm a soldier. I know how it feels to be caught in the rain. Going to war in your brain when the
I know how it feels to be caught in the rain, going to war in your
feels to
brain.
be caught in the rain. Going to war in your brain when depression is staring you right in the face and anxiety is grabbing you, making you shake with this.
When depression's staring, I know how it feels to be caught in the rain, going to war in your brain.
Going to war in your brain when depression is staring
When depression is staring you,
you right in the face and anxiety is grabbing you, making you shake with this.
and anxiety is grabbing you, making you shake. When people come home from war and they're exposed to combat, or that culture shock, or that shock of stuff going on, it changes you immensely. You are not the same. And if anybody tells you, I was fine, nothing changed, they're fucking lying to you. I'm going to tell you straightforward. Iraq wasn't as bad whenever I deployed in 2009. Afghanistan, I really didn't want to go there because I honestly didn't know I was coming home. But there's people depending on you.
People depending on you to be great, so you hide all the feelings and push them away.
People depend on you to be great, so you're pushing the feelings.
It's grabbing you, making you shake, but there's people depending on you to be great, so you hide all the feelings and
So you hide all the feelings and push them away. Yes, I have pushed so many of my friends away. Even those that I was on active duty with, because they just didn't understand why I was so fucked up in the head. They didn't. Even my fucking leaders didn't understand. They just kept saying, suck it up, move on. Until it got so goddamn bad that I actually sought help instead of just sucking it up and moving on.
push them away. It's too hard trying to mix it all with the pain. I'm drinking the cool off and it's all in my veins. Hide all the feelings and push them away. It's too hard.
It's too hard trying to mix it all with the pain. I'm drinking cool
Trying to
off.
mix it all with the pain. I'm drinking the cool off and it's all in my
And it's all in my veins.
veins. I'm making these new songs to move on and restrain from
I'm making these new songs to move on and restrain. He's talking about his inner demons and struggling with, certain addictions and stuff like that. On top of what a lot of us vets go through. I am considered an anomaly in the veteran community. I don't have a tobacco addiction. I don't have a alcohol addiction. I don't have a gambling addiction. I don't have a drug addiction. I'm still married and never been divorced, and I have 4 kids, and I've been battling with my own anxiety, depression, and PTSD since I was first diagnosed, and even before then. Gaming and streaming are my outlets and are my therapy. It allows me to enjoy something that I love while expressing myself to the open world for people to come by and talk. I get to meet other people. I want you to pay attention to these next lyrics because this is kind of what broke me. From grabbing the sword off
grabbing the sword off and going to cock it and aim at these nuanced influence.
and cock it and aim at these nuanced, influenced people
The people
who shame the role that a man has to play. Basically, what we were all taught as kids growing up: suck it up, move on. Suck it up, move on. You're fine. Don't worry about it. What happens when it gets, too overwhelming? If you think suicide is bad in, the civilian world, you should really take a look at the statistics of suicide in veterans. Because we have had leaders that are like, oh, they're fine. They just came back from their 6th deployment, combat and everything else. They're fine, whatever. Oh, they were shot at. They're fine. Oh, they were hit. Yeah, it's just, a wound. They'll move on once they're out of the service. If that were true, I'd have 30 motherfuckers still alive today! I'd have 30 of my fucking best friends alive today that I served with in the military. Because of bullshit leaders that shame others for getting help.
The role that a man has to play as a husband, a father, a brother, a son who is serving, protecting his family.
As a husband, a father, a brother, a son.
The role that a man has to play as a husband, a father, a brother, a son who is serving, protecting.
Who is serving, protecting his family's name. I served. When I got married, I became a husband. When I had my first son, I became a father. And my brothers and sisters to my left and my right, they were my military family. I had 2 names to protect. My birth name and my branch's name. I had to protect both while in country and out.
In his family's name, they laugh in your face when you try to explain or express. Then tell you they love you without any loyalty, patience, or basic respect. Then expect.
Pay the fuck attention to these. They laugh in your face when you try to explain or express, then tell you they love you without any loyalty, patience, or basic respect, then expect you to smile every day while it eats at your mind and your soul. Oh, we're here for you. We love you. You can talk to us whenever you need to, when you need to vent. But God forbid we hit up one of our civilian friends at 1:30 in the morning. We can't sleep because we're battling our demons. God forbid we go through and we try to ensure that we don't grab a firearm, we don't drink ourselves to death, we don't shoot ourselves up with drugs that'll put that final nail in our fucking deathbed. But yet, people are like, oh, you served, you should be fine. No. No. You expect us to walk around with a smile on our face, man. We can't. Sometimes it's too much for us to bear. Sometimes it's too much for us to, go at it alone. And I wish a lot of the veterans' civilian counterparts, their friends and friends, would understand and just sit and listen, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That phone call can actually save a life. I have a buddy of mine. I'm not gonna say his name. He hits me up at random times, and yes, it aggravates me because I'm woken out of a dead sleep. He understands. He apologizes for it. But we talk, and I talk him off a ledge. And I told him, hit me up at any time. And I mean this to any vet that comes by this video. Hit me up on Discord. I'm not a licensed therapist. Motherfucker. I will take the damn time. If I don't answer right away, I see it. I 100% respond. If you play games, let's play a game. If you want to sit there and shoot the shit, let's sit there and shoot the shit. If you want to vibe to music, let's vibe to music. Even if it's motherfucking mumble rap. I care. Next set of lyrics. And your flesh and you work and you wither away till the day that you wither away to the day that you can't and you're broken. To the day that you can't and you're broken and nothing is left and you're old and you can't even. And nothing is left and you're old and you can't even. And you can't even. You can't even. Loyalty, patience, and basic respect. They expect you to smile every day while it eats at your mind and your soul and your flesh, and you work and you wither away till the day that you can't and you're broken is nothing left and you're old and you can't even. He didn't finish that sentence because it's exactly where it's at. You can't even continue. Can't even continue because the weight is so insurmountable. It eats away at your very core. It eats away at your very soul and your presence. The only way to explain what it's like to go into combat and come out is for you to experience it firsthand, going into combat and coming out. There's one game out there that I refuse to play. It's called 6 Days in Fallujah. I have a very damn good friend of mine who is a moderator of mine, who is also an independent artist, who made my intro. Boogie. He went in before I did. He was an 03. He was a grunt. And from there, Test? Okay. My mic decided to reset. Alright. Alright, there we go. I don't do these 2, 3, 4 takes type deal. I do everything in one go. Boogie told me during playing 6 Days in Fallujah, he had to step away because of how surreal one part was. I asked him, "You good? Do you need talk?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good." And we sat and we vibed, and we started listening to music. The set of bars and lyrics that you just seen right here, it's one of those that you don't fully get until you see when it's too late. You don't get it until it's too late. Same thing, going back to the hook, going to the lyrics, going there. I go to war for my dogs. I'm a I go to war for my dogs. I go to war for my my fellow brothers. My boys. Those that I'm like this with. I'm gonna give you my all. Just don't break my heart.
My pronouns are he, him, his. My job is to feed these kids.
My pronouns are he, him, his. My job is to feed these kids. Basically, my job is to feed, my kids. Those that I'm providing for. Those that look up to me. Those that I'm leading.
Be strong, keep feelings within. My papa.
Be strong, keep feelings within. Don't show weakness, don't show emotion, even if you just seen somebody's head get blown off. Or you find out that a revered leader was killed in action. And you're told, you're an NCO, can't show any emotion in front of your junior Marines. Suck it up. I actually had a sergeant tell me that in Afghanistan when I was a corporal. When Kevin was killed in action. Same very man that took my spot that I found out, a couple years later that he took my very spot in Afghanistan. Oh, it wasn't a couple years. It was the fucking following April in 2012. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to suck it up, right? I'm supposed to continue moving on. I sucked it up for so long, I almost became one of the 22. And that statistic has actually increased now to 26 or 27 now. Maybe even more. That's why organizations like the USO, Stack Up, and Regiment exist. Wounded Warrior has proven themselves to be insurmountable whenever it comes to fighting PTSD and stuff. My papa taught me to protect the weak. A man ain't what he got. A man is what he gives. Not what is.
Protect the weak, a man ain't what he got, a man is what he gives.
It's not the possessions that you have. You can have as much money as Elon Musk, and you can give it away. Yeah, that's all cool and everything. It's more about what character and everything else that you have to give back and everything else. That's what these lyrics are for. That's what these lyrics are saying.
And when he gives it all and it still ain't enough, then he's the.
And when he gives it all and it's still ain't enough, then he's the one to blame and no one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck whether you succeed or fail. And if you fail, it's all your fault. If you succeed, hey, it's all of us. I hate the fact that, there's so much of a burden placed on men. But at the same time, nobody else is going to shoulder that burden. Nobody else is going to, not crumble under pressure with ease. The pressure will, compound us to a degree until it gets too much and we reach our breaking point. We let out our emotions, and then we go from there and we go back anew.
The one to blame and no one gives a shit. Never leave a man behind. We all cracking.
Never leave a man behind.
Gives it all and it still ain't enough. That he's the one to blame and no one gives a shit. Never leave a man behind.
Never leave a man behind. Never leave a man behind. Never leave a man behind. I'll be coming back to this on one of my episodes. We all never leave a man behind. We were taught, regardless of the situation, you never leave someone behind, whether they're able-bodied, wounded, or dead. We never leave them behind. And when you do, all hell follows.
We all crack and break within the hands of time.
We all crack and break with the hands of time. I got an extra
grind.
Time will beat your ass up. It's only a matter. It's only a matter of when. Will it? That's it. Time will wither you away until you're nothing. Because time is still undefeated.
Anybody trying to identify as a guy if their chromosomes ain't XY, break within the hands of time. I got an extra grind. With anybody
trying to identify as a guy if their chromosome ain't XY, he's talking about the whole woke bullshit within the military. There's no place for that in the military. You identify as something else, cool, but don't bring it out on the battlefield where you have lives on the line. Seriously.
Trying to identify as a guy if their chromosomes ain't XY, you would never understand.
You would never understand what it's like for a man. Gotta fight with your hands.
What it's like for a man, gotta fight with your hands. Wanna cry, but you can't. As we were, again, I allude back to the premise. We were taught as young boys, suck it up, move on, don't cry, don't show emotion. And as we're growing up as a man, I gotta suck it up. All this weight is starting to, break me. I can't continue. I have to, but I got to. I have to be sure that I get these boys home. I have to be sure that young man that just had his leg blown up, I gotta treat him while making sure I'm not getting killed. I gotta, understand the situation around me and make sure that everybody else's lives are okay. But I'm cracking under pressure. How do I get through this? You can if it's right for the fam. You will tighten your pants, provide a romance. You would die where you stand. With your hands, wanna cry, but you can if it's right for the fam. You will.
If it's right for the fam, you will tighten your pants.
Provide a romance.
Provide a romance. You will die where you stand. And that line is true. Provide a romance. You will die where you stand. Because if you fall to your knees and you don't get back up, that's it. If you get the fuck back up and continue on, you're showing that perseverance, even if the pressure is overweighing you. Continue on.
Gotta be the bigger man when there's problems.
Gotta be the bigger man when there's problems. Get judged by the money in your wallet. I don't give a fuck how much money I have. I could have, a negative balance. There's an issue. I'm gonna be the bigger man. I'm gonna move the fuck on. I'm gonna, go through and continue with what I'm going with.
Judged by the money in your wallet. It's our fault. Let's be honest. We built a world that labeled us toxic.
It's our fault. Be honest. We built a world that's labeled us toxic. Toxic masculinity is what he's alluding to. It's not toxic masculinity to be a masculine male. I'm sorry. It's not. It's when it's overbearing and forcing something on somebody else's life. That's when it becomes toxic. And don't get my words twisted. You have toxicity within the other communities as well. It's not just masculinity. It's toxic femininity. Excuse me. There's toxic LGBTQIA. It's when it becomes overbearing and when it becomes too severe and nobody can talk in a civil manner. You can disagree with whatever I say all day long. I'm going to say, okay, I respect your opinion. But the moment you start yelling at me and trying to flush ideas down my throat is the moment I'm going to fire right the fuck back.
Gotta lead and teach and keep the peace and fight the fires and be police. The world that labeled us toxic. Gotta lead and teach and keep the peace.
Gotta lead and teach and keep the peace.
Fight the fire
and fight the fires and be police.
And be police.
When a man gets tired, he don't lay to sleep.
And get tired, he don't lay down to sleep. He take all the heat.
He takes all the heat. Our job as men is never done until we are 6 feet in the ground. Then our legacy continues to outlive us, depending on the legacy you leave. Whether it be for your friends, whether it be for your brothers in arms, whether it be for your biological brothers, your biological sisters, your sons, your daughters, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles. We fuck up, we take all the heat. It's simple. And when you fuck up more in the military, it's even worse. Because it's magnified by a factor of at least 10.
Heat, don't complain over retreats.
We don't complain or we don't back down. We just take it.
The world and its hard times and our children inherit the land. You take all the heat, don't complain over retreats.
It's a cold world and its hard times and our children inherit the land. Our children will bear with what we get. Our children will bear the fruits of our labors. It's just depending on what you've sown as to how good the harvest will be.
The world and its hard times and our children inherit the land.
If you think of being a boy is just picking a pronoun, you should try being a dad. Self-explanatory.
The boys is picking a pronoun. You should try being a dad. You can build all the houses and fix all the cars and work.
You can build all the houses and fix all the cars and work till it's breaking your back. You could do great things with your hands. You could do great things with building up stuff. You do everything that you see. And I was kind of glad I paused on this picture. Because this is whenever you're taking in a surreal moment and not aware of your surroundings. And it's the same thing with a lot of people who get so involved in their work, they don't see the shit that goes on around them.
Work till you're breaking your back, but the hardest job in the world, being a man.
And the hardest job in the world is being a man. And I want you see how he's pulling it back. Pulling it back just in time. And he's like, the fuck are you doing? Battling feelings I can't even show.
Can't even show. Weight of the world on my shoulders is crushing me. People around me, they don't even know.
Weight on my shoulders is crushing me. People around me, they don't even know. This is talking about after life in the service. This is talking about why a lot of vets go through addiction, struggling, and everything. Which vets try to find some outlet to manage their anguish, their PTSD, their anxiety, their depression, their mental issues. Some of it's, helpful. Others, not so much. And for me, I'm lucky. I married my wife while I was in the service, so she understands. But if you married after your service, your civilian spouse has no idea. unless they've been with you through and through and you open up to them and they are willing to understand, they will never have any idea.
I put on this cape and go save everybody while I'm being shattered.
I put on this cape, then go save everybody while I'm being shattered.
And all of my bones take on the pressure.
And all of my bones take on the pressure. We feel like we're invincible whenever we have on that uniform, and the pressure, once it's off, does indeed crush us. I don't care what what type of veteran you are. At some point since you took off that uniform for the last time of your DOD contract, that pressure overwhelmed you. There was a moment sometime in your life after you took that uniform off, you untied your boots and you hung them up. When you got your DD 214 and your discharge, regardless of what it was, that pressure weighed you down. And I guarantee you at least once you broke and you cried.
Being the hero who saves but has no one to help with it.
Being the hero who saves but no one has has no one to help with his own. And again, we are taught to deal with it without showing any emotion. We are taught that you're a man, you have to deal with these issues like a man.
Demons inside that try to eat him alive. I'm going insane and when I'm out of my mind. Saves but has no one to help with his own.
Demons inside, they try to eat him alive.
They try to eat him alive.
I'm going insane, and when I'm out my mind,
insane and when I'm out of my mind, I look at the stars.
I look at the stars and talk to God in the sky.
Talk to God in the sky.
I wait on his words, but I don't get a reply. Like, we're always asking, why the fuck did you allow this to happen? Why did you allow my friends to get shot? Why is he not here? Why? And we're always seeking for a fucking answer. And yes, we turn to conventional methods like, mental health therapy, intensive outpatient therapy, exposure therapy, etc. There's only so much secular items that you could go through before realizing you need to figure out certain things, not by yourself, but with a core group. Because at the end of it all, you need a support basis to help you get through these notions of what this world is. Brutality.
His words, but I don't get a reply. I try to refrain.
Try to refrain from diving deep.
So I hold back tears that try to come. Come out
my eyes in this world as a man. Because when we cry, we're seen as weak. I disagree. If you admit where you're weak at, that shows strength. That shows character. That shows resolve. And yeah, you saw me at the very beginning. I massive tear stream rolled down my eyes. And it's not the beat, not the rhythm. It's the lyrics, because I heard every single fucking word that Dax had to say. Every single motherfucking word.
This world is a man where we know we can't cry because of refrain from diving deep, so I hold back tears that try to come out my eyes. In this world is a man where we know we
can't cry.
Can't cry because
the people we love
looking us to
confide. Because if we're crying and our kids are looking to us for some form of reassurance, they're like, oh, he's too emotional. I've cried in front of my kids. I'll admit it. I'm not ashamed. I'll tell you straightforward. That raw emotion is what's needed. When you're crying and when you're showing vulnerability.
So I'm silently screaming for help.
I'm silently screaming for help. Life is a battle inside
of these trenches, especially
when fighting all by yourself. PTSD from these memories.
Fighting it all by yourself. PTSD from the memories.
People who left you for
dead and then drug you through hell.
And they drug you through hell. Leaving you shocked deep inside of a shell with stories you hate but nobody to tell. A lot to unpack right here. And I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, but there's a lot to unpack within these lyrics and the scope from the eyes of a vet, from the eyes of somebody who been through some of the shit. I'm grateful that I've never developed an alcohol addiction. I'm grateful I've never developed a tobacco addiction or a drug addiction. It wasn't until I actually sought help that I was actually able to share my story. And even whenever the pullout of Afghanistan happened, I felt betrayed. I still hadn't shared my entire story with mental health because it was only an 8-week program and there was not enough time. One of the organizations that I was actually able to go through and share my story with, Stack Up, I was able to consult with them. I was able to talk to them for a couple of hours and let everything out. And it shocked the shit out of some of them. Because they just see, you know, this guy in front of a camera on stream. They didn't know what was really going up in here.
Out of a shell with stories you hate but nobody to tell. Why you question God if your soul is.
And we start the bargaining phase. I'll sell my soul if. I'll sell my soul if. If you do this, bring him back. I'll do. Like, we start the bargaining phase. Honor of all those who have served and sacrificed their lives. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for making this. There are not enough words that our veterans can say to truly express our own thoughts and emotions and feelings when we leave the service, especially those of us who have seen combat and lost friends and leave. Thank you. That one was pretty hard to digest. But I appreciate those who took the time to watch this, especially my breakdown of it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.